The movie begins near a beach where a father scares his son and daughter about a monster in the ocean, but the kids don't believe him and mock him. The children throw rocks into the ocean, and suddenly many sharks float to the surface while a giant octopus appears in front of everyone. The father sees the incident and tries to run to help his children immediately, but when he arrives, the giant octopus falls onto the beach and kills the entire family. Later, Chief Chen, Dr. Fan, a biologist, and several other scientists arrive at the beach to examine the corpse of the giant octopus. Aiming to gather more information about this monstrous creature, Dr. Fan and two scientists enter the body of the giant octopus and discover 4 unhatched eggs, but soon realize that the eggs are not alive. However, the scientists discover a shark with an abnormal body, mixed with that of an octopus, leading them to believe it is a DNA fusion between the two species. While they try to find out more, the monsters suddenly wake up and start chasing everyone, forcing them to flee for their lives. The monster chases the scientists until it manages to escape the body of the giant octopus, causing chaos and scaring everyone in the area. One scientist fails to escape and ends up being bitten by the creature in the air, which then passes out shortly after. The scientists analyze the monster and discover that it is dead, but Dr. Fan immediately realizes that there is a live baby inside the monster's body. Chief Chen wants to experiment on the baby monster to find a new invention, but Dr. Fan refuses, saying she doesn't want to create a catastrophe for humanity. Chief Chen explains that if the experiment with the monster is successful, Dr. Fan can help her son who has a strange illness, but Dr. Fan still chooses not to do it. Dr. Fan returns home at night to have dinner with her son but is suddenly captured by an unknown person who leaves her unconscious. Later, Dr. Fan wakes up in the laboratory of a luxury cruise ship with the baby monster right in front of her. Chief Chen brought her here to save her son's life, threatening her to participate in the experiments with the monster. Moreover, Chief Chen discovers that Dr. Fan's son is dying, so the only hope for her son's life is the fluid in the monster's brain. Dr. Fan faces a difficult decision: continue the experiment or let her son die. Chief Chen immediately leaves the laboratory, and Dr. Fan finally decides to conduct a final experiment to extract the fluid from the monster's brain to help her son, even though she knows that experimenting with the new species poses a risk to humanity. Later, Dr. Fan, along with 2 other scientists, prepares a device to extract the fluid from the monster's brain and delivers it to Chief Chen and his son. After a successful mission, Dr. Fan decides to kill the monster to prevent future threats. However, the monster quickly becomes aggressive and grabs a scientist's hand. Dr. Fan tries to inject the neutralizer serum to help the scientists kill the monster but finds that they are no longer able to control it. The monster grows larger and larger, eventually breaking the glass container and making the scientists try to run for their lives. However, the 2 scientists fail to escape the monster's tentacles, and eventually, only Dr. Fan manages to leave the laboratory and lock the door to trap the monster inside. The monster looks at Dr. Fan with hunger and reveals its true appearance, a combination of a giant octopus and a shark. It attacks the door, forcing Fan to flee. At the same time, the ocean police invade the ship to arrest Chief Chen after frequently being informed about his illegal experiments. Agent Fei leads 2 agents as they enter the ship to find Chief Chen, and the other 2 agents are guarding outside the ship, waiting for the command. Meanwhile, Chief Chen is at a party and announces his success in finding a new biopharmaceutical that can help cure human diseases, promising to bring people into a new era together. Simultaneously, a drunken woman goes to the side of the ship to get some air, when she suddenly sees the monster emerging from the laboratory, and she is quickly grabbed and killed by the monster without anyone noticing. Agent Fei and his team find Chief Chen at the party and are about to arrest him. However, their plans are interrupted by the unexpected arrival of Dr. Fan, with whom Chief Chen had a serious relationship. Dr. Fan informs Chief Chen that the monster is growing differently than expected but discovers that everything was part of Chief Chen's plan. Meanwhile, the DJ starts playing music for everyone to dance to, and Agent Fei and his team discreetly appear to arrest Chief Chen among the crowd. Meanwhile, the monster invades the party and starts killing people. Dr. Fan, noticing the monster's attacks, tries to interrupt the party, warning everyone about the monster's presence. However, the crowd does not believe her warning until the monster appears on the wall and kills the DJ, much to everyone's surprise at the party. The monster then captures several people as food. Agent Fei finds Dr. Fan and tries to get her out of there with his entire team, including Chief Chen, who is being arrested. They run to the kitchen and lock the door to prevent the monster from entering. Everyone wonders about the presence and emergence of the monster that kills people, and Dr. Fan confirms that it is the result of her experiment, as well as Chief Chen's. She states that her boss tricked her by altering the neutralizer serum intended to kill the monster, resulting in an evolved serum capable of developing the monster over millions of years in just a few hours. Chief Chen admits his actions because he wants to obtain the maximum from the monster's biopharmaceutical. It turns out he invested a significant amount of time and money in experimental materials for this project. During the conversation, the monster sneaks into the kitchen using its tentacles to grab an agent and kill him instantly. Everyone in the kitchen panics, and the agents start shooting at the monster to create a chance to escape. As they make their escape, Agent Fei and Dr. Fan head to the lab, while the others take Chen to a safe place. However, when Agent Fei and Dr. Fan get halfway to where fresh food is stored, they realize the monster is eating there. Dr. Fan believes that since the monster's body needs to grow many times larger, it requires a lot of food. They use the fish to distract the monster and try to move as quickly as possible, but unfortunately, Dr. Fan cuts her hand on a piece of glass, causing the smell of human blood to immediately attract the monster's attention. She remains calm, patient, and in pain, and they continue to move silently until they manage to leave the room. Meanwhile, one of the agents escorting Chief Chen is attacked by the creature's tentacle. The female agent jumps in to help him, providing an opportunity for Chief Chen's subordinate to grab a knife and stab the other agent, thus helping his boss. The agents help each other to escape the monster's deadly attacks, and unfortunately, one of them sacrifices himself to save his friends. The chase continues, and seeing that he is injured, the male agent decides to buy time for his colleague. He locks himself in a cabin and faces the creature with a grenade, and when attacked, he detonates the explosive. Later, Chief Chen reaches the captain's room and finds Dr. Fan's son. He threatens her with her son's life, announcing this through the ship's loudspeaker, giving Dr. Fan the chance to extract the fluid from the monster's brain and deliver it to him in 20 minutes, or he will kill her son. Upon hearing this, Dr. Fan decides to find the monster to extract the fluid from its brain again, but Agent Fei stops her, warning about the potential danger. However, Dr. Fan calls her son by his name, Zong, which leads Agent Fei to believe that Zong is his son. They had previously promised to name their son Zong when they fell in love. Agent Fei starts to cry and immediately asks to join the rescue of his son, promising to take care of them from now on. Then, they plan to lure the monstrous creature to the ship's engine room, where liquid nitrogen is stored, to freeze it and extract the fluid from its brain. After successfully ingesting the fluid, they plan to use the neutralizer serum to kill the monster. Later, they encounter the monster again and lure it to the ship's engine room to develop a plan. They are now avoiding the monster's attacks and opening the nitrogen throughout the room to freeze it. However, before the two can leave the room, the monster arrives and intends to kill them. Suddenly, the room's temperature drops, causing the monster to gradually freeze. Dr. Fan sees this opportunity and uses her device to extract the fluid from the monster's brain. Finally, they succeed, but when they prepare to inject the neutralizer serum into the monster to kill it, it immediately starts to move, forcing them to decide to leave once and for all. Later, they take the fluid they received and deliver it to Chief Chen in exchange for her son's life, but they discover that the man also uses a time bomb to threaten them. Thus, Agent Fei and Dr. Fan decide to deliver the fluid to Chief Chen, but immediately the female agent appears and attacks Chen's subordinate. The agents then engage in a confrontation with their enemies. Dr. Fan proceeds to where her son is and tries to deactivate the bomb. Meanwhile, in the engine room, the temperature returns to normal, causing the monster to gradually revert to its ferocious state. The monster begins to move and uses its tentacles to capture Chief Chen, pulling him immediately into the engine room and killing him. Meanwhile, the time bomb starts counting down, and Agent Fei manages to remove it from the boy and, with the help of his colleague, throws it into the engine room. With the explosion, the monster is instantly killed and blown out of the room. However, the large explosion damages the ship's engine, causing the cabin to take on water and making the ship start to sink. Underwater, an even larger creature approaches the ship. People quickly run to the top of the ship to find other survivors, but the ship loses control and collides with a rock, causing it to tilt skyward at almost 90 degrees, creating chaos among everyone. Unexpectedly, the larger monster emerges and devours a woman alive, terrifying the people even more. All the survivors try to climb to the highest slope of the ship to save their lives, and while everyone attempts to escape, the giant monster uses its enormous tentacles to capture the entire ship and launch an attack on the survivors. Seeing that the giant monster will kill everyone there, the female agent decides to confront the creature and stabs her sword into its eye, causing both her and the monster to fall into the ocean. However, the giant monster jumps back onto the ship, and its weight tilts the ship to 90 degrees. People use all their strength to hold onto the ship's railing to avoid falling from a great height, but one of them ends up falling to his death. With no choice but to fight the giant monster, Dr. Fan jumps into the monster's mouth holding the neutralizer serum, hoping to inject it into the monster to kill it and save the remaining survivors. As a result, the neutralizer serum stops the monster's heart, causing its instant death and making it sink into the depths of the ocean along with her. Finally, Agent Faye and his son cry and mourn the loss. At the end of the film, Agent Faye and his son are safe on dry land, and the female agent who had jumped to stab the giant monster in the eye also survived.